All right, so starting off, we have got Lucas Mason and Devin with Jackson Noah and Jackson Hughes starting in net. This is the Littleton prospect team, so I think it's made up of 15 and 16-year-olds that didn't make kind of the top team in their respective age group. Is I think what it is. All right, face off. Kind of goes back into Littleton zone, and then they hit it up ice. Noah's going to grab this. He's going to go back behind the net. He's going to wrap it back to Jackson. Jackson's going to hit it up here to Dane. Now he's going to take it himself. He's going to make it out of the zone. Littleton's going to get it and regroup and bring it in. Littleton on their way in gets by Noah, but not Devin, who's there on the check, and then shot goes in on Huey. So we're going to get a full change here. We got Wes, Julie, and Kaz out there with Declan and Goody. Kaz to take the face off here. Kaz face off kind of got lost behind the ref. Kaz kind of lost hold of it when that happened. So behind the net it goes, comes out to the dot in, goes near side, misses. And they go out to the point. Declan picks it up and he gets it to Wes. Wes into the zone here. He makes his way into the slot. Nice shot, rebound, but we missed the rebound. Nice shot by Wes though. And here comes Littleton back through in the neutral zone. They drop it as they make their way along the back wall, cycle it in front of the crease. Jackson's just going to smother in here. All right, now it looks like we got Eli, Logan, and who's on defense here? Nicholas, Dane, and Norm. Dane hits it up the boards looking for Eli. Eli trying to get it over, can't quite get it off the stick in time. Nice job by Nicholas to win that defensive battle and pop it out of the zone here. Nicholas grabs it again. He's going to shovel it over to Dane. Dane up the ice, looking for Nolan and try to lay it off for Logan. Logan dumps it into the zone, and he's going to go get his own rebound. He shovels it over to Eli. Eli in the corner now, working along the boards. And he's going to, I can't see. Unfortunately, it looks like he spin moves back into the corner. And he's still got a hold of it here, trying to work his way to the crease, but gets picked off. Still holding on to it here. Two guys going against him, can't quite win the puck. Finally, Littleton comes out with it. And they can't bring it out of the zone, though. And now they finally do. So this should icing called off. So Nicholas is going to grab it as we're getting a forward change. Nicholas off the boards looking for Mason. Kind of goes past Mason, but he's going to get to this along the boards here. And he's going to avoid a check as the Littleton sends it back out. Littleton shovels it, makes its way over to Devin. Noah trying to get it back up to Lucas. Can't quite get it there. There we go. Mason comes in. And Mason over to Lucas. Nice pass by Mason. Lucas into the zone now, trying to pass it over to Devin. Now Lucas into the dots, goes off the boards to Noah. Noah long to Mason. Ooh, chipped in. Looking for Lucas. Couldn't quite get him there. Noah with a deep pinch. Does hold on to it. Gets it to Devin. Devin drops it for Mason. Unfortunately, wrong side where his stick was at, so he had to try to backhand it in, and it gets covered up by the goalie. Nice shift by them. That was their best offensive shift that we had there. And we're going to get a full change here. Declan James in with Kaz, Wes, and Julian. About 14-14 left in the first here. Kaz trying to get it over to Julian. Gets shoved off the puck here, goes into the boards, and chips out of the zone here. They're going to work their way in on Goody, but Goody keeping him wide. Nice job. Goody finishes along the board. Nice defensive play by Goody. Picked up by Kaz, gets it over to Julian. Julian now makes a move around one, got room, lays it off for Kaz, but goes into Kaz's skates. Nice try, but just a little off on the pass. Nice pass across, shot by Wes, and it gets deflected up into the netting. Now the offense is clicking a little bit. Going to get a defensive change here, and Nicholas Dane coming out. Same forward staying out there. Face off. He won by West along the boards there. He's got 2 against him though. They come out with their ringer around. And kept in by Julian. Kaz working along the boards now. Kaz holds on to it, keeps it in, gets it to West. West, quick shot. Kaz saved by the goalie. And still working along the corners now. Cycling back. Nolan's in there now. West still trying to get a hold of it here. Kaz out there with him. And finally Littleton able to work it out, but they've got Dane to deal with. Dane just pops it right back in. Kaz dumps it into the far corner. Should get the rest of our change here as West and Kaz make their way off the ice, and it comes in, and Jackson's going to pick it up here. And he's going to spin around and get a little bit extra room. He's got some room, and he hits it up. Fortunately, goes to Littleton. He kind of lost control of the puck at the last second there. Batted down, gets it over to Maxim. Now Nolan works his way in. He's got Maxim with him. Nolan trying to pass, gets caught off. And along the boards it goes. Held in at the point by a trio of yellow. Jackson, Nolan, and Eli all there holding it at the point. Still kind of along the boards. Jackson comes out with it. He's going to work along the corner. He gets a little bit of space in front of him and sends it across. Nice pass to Noah on the opposite point. Noah sends it towards the goal, gets it to Devin. Devin shoots it. It's just going to be gobbled up by the goalie. Starting to get into a rhythm here. Starting to get some good pressure. Hopefully we can pop one in here at some point. Going to get a partial forward change. Looks like Mays and Lucas coming out onto the ice. Devin already out there. Noah and Jackson staying out as our blue liners. Faceoff goes back to Devin. Devin trying to pass it off to Lucas. Can't quite get it. And Littleton coming out here. Littleton takes a long shot. Jackson's just going to glove it into himself. Now we'll get that defensive change. We got Goody Declan coming out. Same forwards out there. Mason wins it back. Declan's going to grab it behind the goal, gets it along up the boards to Devin. Devin's got a little bit of space. He's trying to get that pass to Mason. It does make its way through. Mason along the boards now. Nice pass to Lucas. Goalie's able to come across, and then a shot again by Devin gets deflected. Almost by that trio. Hit into the boards by Mason, picked up by Lucas. Lucas to Mason. Mason shoots it, and it goes in. I don't think any. Nice job, Lucas to Mason. And nice pressure by that forward trio. Caught one in, so score 1-0, 11:51 left in the first. All right, Dane Nicholas out on our blue line. Julian Kaz West. So Kaz to take the face-off, wins it clean back to Dane. Dane wasn't quite expecting it, so he has to go back to get it. He's all right, though. Bounce it off the boards. It comes out. And Julian trying to give a little pressure and see if we can win this back. Julian working along the board. Littleton able to shove it into the zone. Julian still there, so is Dane. He's going to spin around. He's got Kaz. He gets it over to Kaz. Hops over Kaz's stick, and it's going to be a race down to the end. Kaz wins that race. Then he gets tripped up. Let's see if there's a call. No hands go up, so no call. Kaz is able to maintain control as he works his way into the docks and then loses control of the puck. So Dane's got to pick it up on the backside. He's going to try to get a little space for himself. He shoves it up along the boards, looking for West. It makes its way through to Julian. And Julian along the boards to himself into the offensive zone. Julian now tries to backhand it and saved by the goalie. All right, Eli, Maxim, Logan out there with Jackson and Noah.
Yes, he just hasn't quite been a week, but so far it's awesome. Yeah,
Logan to take this face off here. Face off goes into the boards. Goes along the boards. Jackson pinches is able to, or Eli pinches is able to hold it in. They shovel it behind the net. Deep pinch by Noah. He's able to get to it first. Nice work by Noah muscling his way. to maintain that puck until Maxim can try to get it. He shoves it over to the boards for Eli. Eli gets hit, high hit, right in his jaw, no call. Refs put their whistles away. And pass comes across to Jackson on the boards, but hits off the boards and misses the mark just a little bit. Jackson able to pick it up. Jackson's going to bring it into the zone here. He's going to work his way down along the boards, gets it in front. Opts trying to pass for Logan and ends up passing it right to Littleton. Right idea, but can't really do that. He does make his way back. Noah's there. He gets smashed into the boards, but maintains control along the boards he goes. He's got some room. He's also got Lucas, but Noah just kind of takes it himself, and eventually Lucas able to come up on the backside here. Lucas gets it over to James. James got some room. Opts to go to Mason. Mason along the boards, gets it to Devin. Devin trying to shovel that across. It's right on the goal line. Oh, if that puck had just a little more speed onto it, I think we were on the back door to shove it in, but got stopped just barely by Littleton, and he just sat on it right at the goal line.
It goes behind the goal line. You never know.
All right, Declan James in there with Devin Mason and Lucas. Face-off goes into the corner. Littleton wins it. Littleton behind the net there. Lucas comes out with it. Lucas to Dane, or Devin, sorry. And Devin easily just throws it over the weak side shoulder of the goalie, and 2-0. Nice little passing play between Devin and Lucas there. That's 2 points for Lucas now, 2 assists. Good finish by Devin. All right, top forward staying out there with we got Dane and Nicholas on the backside here. Face-off comes to Littleton. Littleton trying to play it out of their zone here. Almost picked off by Devin. Littleton brings it into the zone here. Dane working along in the corner, keeping his guy to the outside. He's able to win it along the board. And pops it out to Devin. Devin's gone. He's got Lucas with him. 2-on-2 the other way. Devin over to Lucas. Lucas trying to get it back to Devin. Gets intercepted here. Devin again looking for someone. No one home. So he opts to bring it himself. Not a bad little move there. Shoots it and saved by the goalie. All right, Julian Kaz West coming in here.
100%.
And Nicholas and Dane still going to stay on the backside.
Because it's closer, so it matches with your depth perception. It's just enough that.
Face-off comes back. Julian working with it. Julian and Kaz trying to maintain control. Works its way into the corner. Julian shoves his guy. Can't quite get the puck, but Kaz is there in support. Kaz gets a hold of it. He's going to spin right into the slot. Shot saved by the goalie up into the glass. West dropping it down for Julian. Julian gets knocked. Stays on his feet. So West now gets it shot. Goes high and wide over the shoulder. Nicholas grabs it on the backside. Back down the line for Kaz. Kaz works his way into the circles here. Kaz got Dane working across. Nice run by Dane. Unfortunately, Dane hit it a little too hard off his stick. Julian in support, though. Julian's maintaining control. He's going to shoot it high and over as it wraps along back to Nicholas and back down to West. West just misses it, so Littleton finally gets a hold of it. They're trying to ring it off the boards into the corner. And Littleton's going to work its way out. Does work its way out. Kaz grabs it. He's going to shovel it over for Nicholas. Nicholas has got some room in front of him. Nicholas is going to take that room. He's going to make it to the circles and shoot it. Saved by the goalie, but Nicholas still working his guy. Nice check by Nicholas. Gets it over to West. West now trying to work. West looking for that pass across. West can't quite make it. Noah's in there, though. Noah's got to get on his wheels to not get beat. Nice job by Noah. Noah misses on the pass, and this is an ice. Right idea by Noah, but just missed there. Coach is telling Noah it's okay, calm down. All right, Logan Maxim and Nolan out there. Noah Jackson. 7:45 left here in the game. Faceoff comes back. Jackson's going to wrap around the goal. Going to backhand it to Noah. Noah along the boards up to Maxim. Maxim can get a hold of this. We got numbers. Does bounce back out. Littleton gets a hold of it. Noah's going to grab it. Noah up to Maxim. Maxim hits it to himself, but a nice defensive play by Littleton to hit him off the puck and not allow him to go in. Nolan now working into the zone. He's working in on his guys. They start to break it out. Deep pinch by Jackson. Jackson able to win the puck. Nice job. He's looking for someone. Nolan fighting the crease. Does jump it across, but just missed Maxim there. As Littleton trying to bring it out. Can't quite do it. And we're Maxim holding it in. And Littleton having to switch the sides in order to bring it out here. Littleton finally able to bring it out. Maxim right there, though. Good job by Maxim. And Nolan also in there trying to pick it off again. And no one can quite get control of it. Nice job by Nolan, gets over to Mason, but Littleton pokes it off the stick. And there we go. Nolan off the boards. Still no one quite maintaining control of it. Now we go. Devin's got it. Devin splits the two defenders. He's by himself into the slot. Shot saved by the goalie. Lucas is there. Gets it back to Devin. Devin along the corner back to Lucas. They're going to work around this corner here. Devin comes out with it back to Lucas. Lucas having to go to his forehand and was able to bring it around the post there. And nice goal. So Lucas with the goal and 2 apples. Devin with an assist and an apple. This front line is clicking. Declan and James out there on the blue line, and Mason, Lucas, Devin.
It's a great little super. It's perfect for what we need. It's easy to
and Mason wins it, gets it back to James here. James up to Lucas. Lucas hits it to Mason. Mason in the zone now. Mason along the boards, works his way into the circle. Shot, pad saved by the goalie. Mason trying to keep it in, held in at the point by Declan. Declan working his way in the shot. Little shuffle to Devin. Devin couldn't quite hold on to it, and we're in the corner now. Lucas comes up with it. Lucas trying to maintain control as he works his way back into the circles. Gets it over to Devin. Devin shot, pad saved again by the goalie. Nice save by the goalie. Littleton off the boards, pinched by Declan. He's able to keep it in. He works his way into the circles, takes a shot, hits the side netting. As we're going to keep cycling. And Devin able to get it, shot near post, gobbled up by the goalie, still loose. Mason now, he's going to bring it out, and Lucas tried the one-timer miss, and then Goody was there on the backside. He's able to. Goody on the board. More assists for that top line here. Hopefully we don't get all of our goals now because we play Montana Wolves tomorrow, and they are a no-joke team. All right, Nicholas Dane out there with Julian, Kaz, and Wes.
Yeah, he's only had 2 practices, and this is the second game, so it's still
5:26 left in the first.
Lafayette, the parents have all been amazing. The kids have been welcoming, so it's been a really good experience so far. The coach is really good, so they play on yeah.
All right, Kaz will take this face off here. Goes into the defensive zone for Littleton as he tries to get it out and whiffs. He's going to go cross ice, gets deflected by his own guy. And back into the corner, Littleton just struggling to get it out of their zone. Nicholas on the bench, he's going to hold it in, gets it down for Julian. Julian avoids the check, but goes right into the pole, unfortunately, as Littleton on the backside. Whistle, we're going to get a tripping call. I don't know if this is on us or them. I didn't see it. It is on Littleton, so we are going to go on the power play here. Lucas, Devin, Mason out there with Kaz and Julian. Face-off picked up by Devin. Devin working along the line, gets it to Mason. Mason cross ice to Julian. Julian misses on the one-timer as Littleton goes to clear it out. Julian gets it again. He's going to spin and work his way into the dot here. And he gets it over to Lucas, but just behind Lucas, Lucas couldn't quite grab a hold of it. Devin now gets it over to Mason. Mason working his way in. Mason's shot blocked in front. Mason and Kaz now working along the lines. Gets it back to Devin. Devin's going to come across the middle. He's going to fire a shot, and it's going to go wide. Mason now. Mason works his way. Gets tripped again. No call. Comes back out to Kaz. And Kaz trying to dump it in, and Littleton's going to grab it, and they're just going to dump it down deep. So Jackson comes out. He's going to hand it off to Devin. Devin's going to spin and get a little bit of room, getting it over to Mason. And Mason up to Lucas. And Lucas is going to hold on to it here while we get a little bit of a change. Over to Devin. Devin dumps it into the corner for Wes. Wes trying to go back to Devin. Wes holds on to it now. Goes to James. James back to Devin. Devin across to Wes. And Wes back across but loses it because it's going to get dumped all the way down. Back to Kaz now. Kaz still out there. And Kaz's going to take this up. Kaz's going to take it. Oh, a little too powerful on the power move and lost control. Back across to Wes. Wes trying to get it to Jackson. Jackson hit it, but it hit off the pad of the goalie and saved by the goalie. Back down to Declan here. Declan gets it up to Wes. And we got 5 seconds left. Wes going to take it in here. Wes taking in, tries a centering pass. And power play over here. Couldn't quite get one. Wes still holding on to it, but gets hit away by Littleton back to Wes. Wes now trying to work it here. Wes into the slot. Still got control into the dot. Shot goes wide. And Goody's going to have to come back to get it here. Goody spins. Goes back to Littleton as they're going to work their way. Going to go behind the net. Jackson having to get this now. Jackson shoves it up to Eli. Eli along the boards back to Nolan. Nolan's got tons of space in front of him. So here goes Nolan. Nolan to the dots. He's going to shoot. Saved by the goalie. No one there to get the rebound because we're going on a change here. Jackson gets it. Oh, couldn't quite get it away from the guy, so he brought it into the dots. Poked away now by Nolan. And Nolan working his way up. Nolan into the corner now. He's going to hit his guy, Logan, there with him to help him out. Logan back to Nolan in the corner, making a move. Couldn't quite hold on to it as it works its way back out to the point. Dane able to hold it in, shovel it back down to the corner. Nolan going off for a change, so no one there quite to give pressure. They give it right to Nicholas, and he's just going to pop it in, and it's going to be glove saved by the goalie. All right, Mason, Devin, Lucas out there right now with Dane and Nicholas. Puck goes into the corner off the glass, held in by Mason. Mason shoveling it to Devin. Devin trying to backhand it and scores. Mason, Devin. That was pretty. We get a defensive change here. Face-off won by Mason, back to Lucas. Lucas back to Noah. Noah looks up ice. Up to Lucas, a hard one to handle. Into the corner it goes. Littleton's going to try to bring it out here. They're going to turn and try to go off the glass. Picked off by Lucas. Lucas looking in front. Picked off again. They miss it. Lucas again. Trying to get it over to Mason. Mason along the boards now. Mason deep. Gets it over to Lucas. Lucas back to Mason. Mason's going to load it up. Saved by the goalie here. They're going to hit it off the boards and out. Mason grabs a hold of it. Back to Lucas. Lucas in the dots. He's going to get some room. It's going to go wide along the boards here. Held in by Jackson as he's almost getting tripped up. No call. And Littleton finally able to grab a hold of it. Noah gets it blocked off his stick here. Jackson's going to go play it. and gets it up to Lucas. Lucas able to do a stick lift so that the puck trickles out of the zone. Jackson now gets it up to Lucas. Lucas on a breakaway here. And over to Mason, and Mason couldn't quite get it in, unfortunately. Mason looking back for Goody. Goody, turn around, Jackson. Jackson was going off for a change right when the last game. Jackson having to work along the boards. He does poke it up for Julian. Well, maybe they a little defense by Jackson, and Julian's going to bring it up. Julian's got a whole lot of steam. And he's in there with Kaz. Julian takes the shot, blocks, goes wide. And that'll do it for period one. Loco's up 5-0. All right, back in the second period, face-off won by Littleton back into their zone. They're going to go off the board. They give it right to Kaz. Kaz working his way through. Scissors his way shot off the post. West now working in the corner. He's got Julian in support. West trying to grab control of it. West comes out with it. West working his way into the slot. Shot saved, but potted in by Julian. So second line on the board. Nice job. Get the rebound. That was quick. Hopefully there's a running clock in the third here.
Okay. Yeah.
So you were off the rest of the week?
Yeah.
Were you both?
Yeah.
I work.
Yeah.
Kind of right in that area.
Yeah.
Nicholas and Dane on the backside. Forward group, same.
Busy Thursday.
Yeah.
For you guys.
Yeah, my
Face-off won by Littleton back in their defensive zone. They're going to do D-to-D pass, another D-to-D pass. And finally up along the boards. And this is going to ice. They call it the icing, saying I think that Dane just chipped it. Nicholas having to go back. He walks along the boards to Wes. Wes couldn't quite get there, but nice job by Nicholas to get it back up to Wes. Wes trying to get it to Julian, goes under Julian and sticking in the corner. Julian grabs a hold of this as he's going to work his way into the dots here. And he's going to take it himself and go along the board down to is that Devin out there. So Littleton works his way out of the zone, but gives it right to Nick. Oh, that was Kaz. Julian brings it back in. He's just going to shoot it right into the shin guard of Littleton as Kaz now takes it into the corner. Looking for Eli up front. Tries to get it over, but can't quite do it. Saved by the goalie and finally popped out. Dane holds the line, gets it down to Kaz, skips over Kaz's stick down to Eli. And Littleton again, they're going to go along the boards. Nicholas on the deep bench here. Nicholas and Nolan trying to hold it in. Comes back out to Eli. Eli shoves it towards the net. It's just going to get sticked aside by the goalie. Back out. Dane holding it in, and then they're finally going to ice the puck. All right, so coming out, we got Jackson and Noah out there with Maxim, Nolan, and Eli. Maxim playing center. He's going to take this face off. He wins it back to Jackson. Jackson's going to take it, and he's going to work his way along the blue line here. And then he's just going to turn and shovel it down deep. We're looking for Eli. Eli shoves his guy up the puck, and they're going to send it all the way down. No icing. It's on target, so Huey's going to just play it and send it right back up to Nolan. Nolan trying to chip it up to Maxim. Couldn't quite get the angle he wanted, so it comes out back to neutral ice, and here comes Nolan. He's going to wheel away and work his way into the circles here and back behind the net. And then he's going to hold on to it, trying to get it back down deep, but Littleton going to come out and pop it up. Nolan's trying to shove his guy up the point as they work their way in. Just an easy shot by Jackson, just square in the chest, and he's just going to gobble that up. And we're going to get a change here. So Goody Declan coming out onto the ice. We got Devin with Lucas and Logan centering that line. So puck picked off by Devin. Devin's got one to beat. He easily gets around his guy. He's got Lucas too. We got a 2-0 shot off the post. No goal. Dang. And Lucas comes out with it though. And Lucas back to Logan. Logan's going to shoot it. It's right into the crotch of Littleton as they work their way out on James. James pokes it away though, and they finally just shove it down deep. Declan having to get it. He's just going to go along the boards to Devin, who's got lots of room, trying to get it over to Logan. They just missed each other. But now Logan and Lucas trying to pass it here, but he's just missing as Littleton comes up with the puck in the corner. Littleton along the boards now, going to get held in by James. James going to work its way down. A little give and go action. Nice try up in front there. Littleton still not able to get it out. Jillian now working along the boards. Lucas still out there. He's holding the point. Jillian comes out with it. He's going to work his way into the slot. Nice little dish. Devin tried on the backhand. Couldn't quite get the lift he wanted. And Lucas now holding it. He's going to sauce it over to Declan in the corner. And Declan and Julian now trying to hold on to the puck here. Declan over to Julian. Julian looking up front. And he's going to dish it back here to Lucas at the point. Lucas to Devin. Devin with the one. So nice movement by those groups. I think Devin has a hat trick now. All right, Julian staying out. Wes, Kaz, Nicholas, and Dane. Face-off, won by Littleton. Dane having to battle. He's able to hit it up to Julian. Julian making a move, keeping it in. Gets it over to Kaz. Kaz on the backhand. Has to bring it. Accidentally hit it the wrong way and put himself off sides. As West Julian staying out there still. Face off one back to Littleton. They're going to go out. They do get it out of the zone, but it's being held in by Dane. He just shovels it back in. Back the other way it goes. West now trying to circle and spin around. Gets some room. He makes his way in the slot. Nice pass to Julian. Julian kicks the corner and over the goalie's shoulder. Is basically a massacre at this point. There's just too many gaps. Littleton has got a lot of defensive holes, and we're exploiting all of it here. Getting a change as Maxim, Eli, and I think that's Nolan come out onto the ice, Jackson and Noah. Score is now 8-0, and there's still about a little over 4 minutes left here in the second. Not sure what the holdup is. All right, face-off stays in the dot. Eli's able to finally get a hold of it. As he's going to work his way along the boards, they're going to call an offsides.
Who makes it? Oh, okay.
Face-off, Littleton is able to pick it up here. And they're going to start carrying it up, trying to shovel it over. Noah picks it off. Noah's going to work his way in, makes his way into the dock. He's got Maxim. Oh! Maxim able to get his stick on it, but really good glove save by the goalie. Probably the save of the game right there. But nice try.
Well, they
All right, Maxim gets the face-off over to Nolan. Nolan shot. Bad save by the goalie up along the board. Held in by Noah. Noah trying to spin it back down deep. Held in by Nolan. Nolan trying to shovel it over to the other side. Comes right in the middle of the ice, and it's going to go along the boards. Littleton just makes their way out. Kicked in by Jackson. Jackson, stick handle just a little too much got away from him, so he's going to spin and get some room. Backhands it to Noah. Noah behind the net. And Noah's going to work it his way out here. Noah along the boards here. He shovels it over to Nolan. And Nolan now behind the net. And Nolan loses his footing there as he goes down pretty hard. And Littleton picking it up behind the net. This kid's coming up. He's got quite a bit of speed. Gets by Declan, but Declan just shoves him off. And I think the puck's going to ice. Good play by Declan not to let him squirt through and cause him the puck to ice, and we're going to start with an offensive zone faceoff here. Not sure what's going on with the time. Thought we only had 4 minutes left, but now we're at 11.
I think they set it to the 20-minute clock. They just subtracted the.
Oh.
So no. Maybe they're going to call it after the second period.
Yeah. All right, puck comes out, but held. Devin's going to bring it right back in. He's got Mason with him. Passes it to Mason. Mason has to hit it off his skates as he's going to swirl around behind the net. And he's going to hold on to it here, trying to get it over to Goody. Goody able to hold it in. Goody dumps it back to Devin. Devin crossed to Mason. Oh, it was just amazing skate. Mason had all sorts of time. Declan now at the point. He's going to hit it. Saved by the goalie.
What?
They reset it.
They reset it to, I forget.
It was set at like 12. Kaz wins the faceoff back to Dane. Dane couldn't quite handle it. It makes its way out of the zone. But Littleton plays it, so no offsides there. Kaz on the recovery. Dane does get it out of the zone here. Goes back to Littleton. Littleton tries to pass it, but gets picked off by Wes pretty easily. Wes bringing it in. And Wes is going to juke and jive and work his way behind the net here. He's going to dump it behind. And I can't see what's going on. It's in the corner. And Littleton comes out with it, and they go along the point, held in by Nicholas. Julian now, he's going to shoot it, and he's going to call him. Might be 3 for Julian, so he might have a hat trick too. All right, Noah Jackson coming in, and Kaz, Julian, West staying out there. Face-off won by Littleton. They're going to go up along the boards, and it's going to ice. No icing, although it was a stick lift by Jackson, so not really sure why no icing. Noah gets along the boards up to Julian. Julian to Kaz. Kaz going into the zone. He's got West with him. Dumps it to West in the slot. Shot, save, finished. Oh, goalie saved it again. Oh no, Julian potted it in. So Julian with another one off the rebound here. It is just a shooting gallery out here. They have decided to run the clock. At least they're running the clock now. I'm not really sure what that means.
Maybe they're going to end it after this.
Yeah, they might. I think we're going to go on the penalty kill, as Declan's going to get called for the trip. So Littleton going to go on the power play. And we will see our first PK of the game. So Dane and Nicholas. Oh, just kidding. I think Maxim's going to play defense. So we got Maxim, Goody, Eli, and Nolan just staying out there. Maxim's going to play defense. Maxim just shoves it down and gets it down deep. Littleton's going to have to go get it. Eli in pursuit here. Eli shoves it. This guy couldn't quite. Oh, he does get a hold of the puck here. Eli shot, saved by the goalie. Eli again gets it over to Nolan. Nolan looking again for Eli. It's finally picked off by Littleton. And Littleton's going to send it down as they're going to work their way in on Maxim, but Maxim's just going to grab it and shove it back up to Nolan here. Back in comes Littleton. They got a 3-on-2. James pushing his guy, holding him off into the perimeter. He's going to grab it behind the net. Couldn't quite get it around this guy. Littleton along the boards. They're going to shovel it back up to the point here. Put it right back down deep into the dot. Shot. Saved by Huey. I think that awkwardly hit Huey in the neck or something. He's got a bit of a stinger. Hopefully he can work that off because I think Logan is out with a concussion. So Huey kind of slow to get up. Must have hit him just right. Mason out there now. That'll 47 seconds still. Mason comes up with it. He's got Lucas with him. Mason's going to shoot it. Saved by the goal. He's picked up by Lucas. Lucas is going to hold on to it here. He tries to shovel it down deep, and he's going to grab it again here. And back off the boards up to Mason. Mason just gets the blue line, puts it in. And they come back up the boards here. Here comes Littleton, but Lucas is able to do a stick lift and regain the puck. He's going to drop it to Nicholas. And Nicholas is just going to go to the boards and dump it back down deep here. So Lucas Mason's still out there. Picked off by Lucas. He's just going to stall for time in the corner here. Dumps it back to Dane. Dane's going to load up the shot. Saved by the goalie. Lucas picks it up. And he's going to do a spin move, get a little bit of space, and that'll do it for the penalty kill. So back to 5-on-5 here. And we got Dane and Nicholas still out there. And they bring it around to Logan. Logan hopped over Logan's stick. He's having to go get along the boards. Couldn't quite do it, so Littleton coming out with it. Nicholas grabs it now. He's got Lucas, gets it over to Lucas. Lucas pops it over to Mason. Mason getting some speed, trying to work his way into the slots. He does make it in and gets a shot off, and that's saved by the goalie. Logan loses an edge and goes into the boards. And they're working on the boards. Littleton able to get it out of the zone. I guess Nick able to hold it in. So Littleton still trying to build it out. We're getting a defensive change here. Mason again. Mason shot. Oh, that almost went in. Goal got just a toe on it to keep it out. Noah on the pinch. Noah not quite able to hold it in. They work their way out, but Wes is there. Wes is going to grab it. He's going to give it off to Kaz, who's waiting at the blue line. He tips it off to Julian. Julian works his way into the top. Near side and missed. Kaz now in the corner and still got Julian. And comes out here. Littleton to bring it out. Poked away by Jackson over to Wes. Wes is going to spin out of it, get a little space. And he's going to spin again. And now he's going to take it up here. Wes taking it up in the zone. He drops it to Julian. Julian drops it back to Kaz. Kaz mishandled it. Couldn't quite finish it off. So grabbing it again. Start over. Wes grabbed it. He's going along the board trying to get it back to Julian here. Back to Wes. Wes trying to get it to Kaz. And hits off a Kaz's skate and goes to the goalie. So change here, Declan, Maxim, Eli, in with Nolan and James. So 4:28 left. I'm not sure if this is in the game or the period. It's kind of a weird time. Maxim shoots it and saved by Littleton. Littleton only has 4 skaters out there. All right, they finally figure it out and send out a fifth. They put themselves on the penalty kill for no reason. Face-off goes back to Littleton. Littleton off the board into the corner. He's going to just chip it out. Held in by Declan with his feet. Maxim gets it back to Declan. Declan winds up a shot. Saved by the goalie here. Face-off one back to Declan. Declan loses it, so Littleton pops it up. They're going to work their way in on James. James able to hit it aside. Nice defensive play by James. And it comes up along the boards. Maxim's got it now. Into the corner. Maxim trying to get over to Nolan. Nolan trying to get a hold of it. Maxim comes out with it. Gets it to James in the slot. James shoots it. Saved by the goalie. Littleton throws to send it out. Picked off by Nolan. Nolan's shot. Saved by the goalie. All right, Mason, Lucas, Devin in there with Nicholas and Zane. Littleton off the boards, trying to build it out of the zone. Held in by Lucas and Nicholas. Nicholas shoveling it towards the net, gets blocked. Mason now along the corners. He's trying to get a hold of this puck here. Makes its way over to Devin. Devin in the circle. He's going to shoot. Saves. And the rebound comes to Mason, who shoots it, and then the goalie deflects it up over the netting. All right, same five staying out there. Face-off stays in the dot. Finally picked off by Devin, who goes behind the net here. Littleton holding him off. Devin gets it back to himself. Dumps it back to Nicholas. Nicholas is working his way, and he's going to shoot it. Gobbled up by the goalie. Rebound. Nicholas again, trying to get that rebound. Littleton staying stuck in the slot, and then finally made his way over to Lucas, who is all alone on the back door, and he's just going to slam it into the back of the net. All right. Wes, Logan, Kaz out there. Jackson, Noah. Face-off stays in the slot, or in the dots. Comes out to Littleton and goes up along the glass. Jackson's going to pick it off here. Shovels it over to Noah. And Noah's going to bring this up the ice. Noah working his way in. He goes to the dots, trying to pass it to Logan. Logan hit off a Logan stick. Now Logan trying to cycle it. Wes coming down into the corner here. Wes comes out with it and then loses it here at the blue line. Wes going to have to recover. As Littleton comes in, they make a move. Saved by Jackson. Nice save by Jackson. He gets wrecked by Noah behind the net. And I think Noah might get called for an interference because the puck was gone. Or Wes is getting called. And that's going to do it for the second. Except I don't know if they're just going to call the game or if they're going to zam. I'm not really sure what the plan is here. They put 17 fresh minutes up there. So I think we are going to just go to third. All right, start of the third here. We're going to start on the penalty kill. We got Kaz, Julian, Goody, and Declan out there. Face off one. Declan overskates it. Littleton's just going to dump it in. Jackson's going to just kick it to the side. Julian along the boards gives it right to Littleton in the slot. And luckily, the kid couldn't hold on to it. He kind of got away with one there. Declan now keeps holding it. And he's going to bring it out. He's got a lot of time and a lot of room, so he's just going to bring it all the way in himself. Dumps it over to Julian in the dot. Julian shoots it. Pad saved by the goalie. James now dumps it back to Kaz. Kaz just got enough on it to win that one. He works his way into the dots. Gets it over to Julian. Julian couldn't get enough air on it. Back to Kaz. And back to Kaz again. He shoots it. Saved by the goalie. Littleton finally able to get it out. So even with 5, unfortunately, we're kind of just do whatever we want here. Declan now into the zone. Declan holds on to it, trying to get it over to Julian Kaz. And he's going to do a one-timer that whiffs and goes all the way down the ice. So Littleton just barely skating at this point. James up the boards, gets it back to Littleton. James gets a hold of it now, shovels it back up to Julian. We're going to get a change. Julian's just going to make the line here. He's going to shoot it. It's going to get blocked into the corner. So we got Eli out there now with Dane and Nicholas. Julian back to Nicholas here. Nicholas is going to work his way, and he's going to shoot it. So it's going to be saved by the goalie. So Nolan coming out to help in the forward group. Face off one by Littleton. They go up, they send it across the ice, and it makes its way out of the zone, but Dane's there to pick it off. He sends it up for Nolan, and Littleton's going to shovel off the boards. Picked off by Eli, held in by Nicholas, held in now by Dane, who puts it towards the net, saved by the goalie. Nice job for the goalie on the kind of quick shot by Dane. PK is over. We're back to 5-on-5 now. It is a run clock, so hopefully we can just get through this and move on until tomorrow. Kaz wins it back to Eli in the corner. Eli shoves his guy over. Kaz looking back for Eli, comes back to Nicholas. Nicholas on the one-timer. Goes way into the corner, not even close. And Littleton now gets it out of the zone here. Littleton through neutral ice, and they're just going to dump it in deep after gaining the red line here. Dane's going to have to come back and get it. Dane along the boards to Nolan. Nolan skipped over Nolan's stick. Picked up by Maxim ices the puck. He is trying to go to Nolan there and just missed him here. All right, Lucas, Mason, Devin out there, Jackson, Noah.
Yeah, he was.
All right, Mason take the space off. Noah grabs it behind the net here. And he's going to work his way around and chip it up for Devin. It's going to ice. Icing gets called off, not really sure why. Devin coming out with it here. Drops it to Mason. Mason misses just wide. Noah having to get it now. And up the boards it goes. Back out to Mason. Mason misses. Jackson comes along. He's going to have to recover. And he's going to spin out of it. He's going to spin around the net and get some room here. And he's got a lot of room if he looks across the ice. So Devin taking it in. Devin drops it to Mason. Mason shoots it. Misses high and wide. And Noah grabs it here. Noah shoveling it down deep, gets ricocheted off the skate. And goes into the corner and works out of the zone here. Littleton's going to work their way in on Noah. Goes deep. Jackson's going to have to go grab this in the corner. Jackson's going to scoot aside. He's got lots of room. Gets it up to Lucas. Lucas trying to shovel it to Devin. Devin picks it up. And said we're kind of slowing down too. Devin with the shot, saved by the goalie. Declan James out there with Julian, Logan, and Wes. Julian gets it over to Wes. Wes couldn't quite handle that pass. A lot of speed on that. Wes now in the corner. Wes back for James. James sends it back up for Wes. Wes spinning around, gets it back to James. James sends it across for Declan. And Littleton gets by Declan, but James is there in recovery. James able to get it. And he's going to spin out off the boards looking for Wes. Wes trying to get a hold of it here. Gets it over back to James. James to Declan. Declan almost got it picked off, but James gets a hold of it. He loses an edge and goes down as Littleton makes the red line and dumps it in. So Declan having to go get it here. Declan along the boards to Wes. It kind of rolled funny. Wes can't quite locate it. Now Wes picks it up. And Wes is going to spin around, and he's going to get a little bit of space here. Wes dumping it up to Declan. Declan along the boards into the corner. It's hit up by Wes. Picked up by Wes. Wes working his way, gets it over to Nicholas. Nicholas back to Wes. And Wes along the blue line here. He's just going to shovel it towards the goal. Gets hit in by Littleton. Here comes Dane. Dane grabs the puck. Sends it back up for Julian. Julian beats one, makes his way in, throws a move, and puts it in. I got Nolan, Maxim, Eli, I think, out there with Dane and Nicholas. Still 9:45 left. Puck makes its way in. Nolan trying to get a hold of it. Goes to the goalie. He's just going to glove it down. Littleton behind the net, along the boards, into the corner. Can't really see what's happening here. Littleton blocks a shot, and he goes down. It probably hit just on the ankle there. That doesn't feel very good. He's back up there. Maxim now getting it behind the net. He gets pushed off the puck, and the puck goes in the corner. Got a deep pinch by Dane. Dane gets shoved into the boards here. Still working in the corner. Comes out to the point. Eli brings it out of the zone here, and he's going to bring it right back in. Eli pinched off the boards as they send it up. And cross ice, they do get it out. And it's going to get picked off finally. And Noah on his way up. Noah shoots it, knob saved by the goalie along the boards. Picked up by Eli, gets it blocked. And this is going to be gloved down by the goalie here. All right, Mason, Lucas, and Devin in there. Jackson, Noah. Just under 8 minutes left. Mason back to Noah. Noah lines up a shot, and it goes wide after the deflection. Mason shovels it back down along the boards here. Stays along the boards, picked up by Mason. Quick shot, saved by the goalie. The goalie's actually made several good saves. Gloved down by Mason, trying to get a hold of it, and then Devin's just going to throw it in. Face off won by Littleton. So they do a D-to-D pass. And they're going to send it down deep here. Jackson having to race for it here. He's going to grab a hold of it. It's along the boards to Noah. And Noah can't hold on to it, so Littleton comes out with it. Throws it to the point, shot in. Saved by Jackson. Jackson's going to spin. He's going to go along the boards, and he's going to shove it up for Noah here. Noah gets it to Devin. Devin's got Mason with him. Devin to the slot, drops it for Lucas. Lucas shot goes wide. James able to get there in time and hold it in. He's just going to dump it back down deep. Mason to James. James in the slot. James shoots. Shoulder saved by the goalie. Declan getting it now. Shot in by Devin goes wide. Lucas working behind the net. Lucas going to spin, get some room, trying to send it across, saved by the goalie. And down in front to James. James pushes it back down. Lucas grabs it again. Off the boards back to James. James back to Devin. Devin working his way into the slot. He gets it over to Mason, who tried to pop it up, but hit off the crossbar. Mason again, just kind of toying with Littleton at this point. Mason working along the blue line. And he's just going to circle around, dump it to Devin. Pops it into the goal. So I think Devin's got like 5 goals or something ridiculous. So they just need to end this game. There's about 5 minutes left. I feel bad for this goalie. Julian picks it up, shovels it over to Logan. Logan shot saved by the goalie. Julian now to Kaz. Kaz works his way in, shot, goal. Getting some hoots and hollers, I guess, from the Littleton parents. Not really happy about running up the score, but I mean, the boys aren't celebrating or anything more after the goals, so. Littleton gives it out. Dane's going to grab it, and he's going to get picked off. Kaz able to get it. Kaz going to work his way in. He's got Julian with him. Kaz shoots, pad saved by the goalie. And shoved out of the zone. Dane's there, trying to pass it. Misses on the pass there as it just goes down deep. Kaz able to get it, trying to poke it to himself, but Littleton comes out with it. Nicholas holds it in. Back to Julian. Julian through the legs, behind the net. And Littleton's like, they're not even trying really to get it. Nicholas now, his shot, glove saved by the goalie. Into the corner it goes. And we're going to get a partial change here. Back to Nicholas in the slot, shot ricocheted up front by Kaz. Back down into the corner. Nicholas again, shot saved by the goalie. All right, Maxim, Noah, and Eli out there. Jackson, Noah. Face-off won by Littleton. They can't quite get it aside, picked up by Eli. Now Littleton picking it off Eli and into the corner here. Eli trying to shove his guy off the stick. Noah trying to grab it. Eli gets shoved down to the ice. Littleton finally comes out with it here as they're going to work their way out on Noah. Noah holding it into the zone. Noah's shot goes way high. Picked up by Jackson. He's going to work his way, trying to center pass. No forward home there as Littleton trips up. Littleton finally able to bring it out. They give it right to Jackson. He's just going to skate up here. So he's going to gain the zone. Gonna work his way around. And he's just going to keep circling here. And then he's going to shoot it, headed down by the goalie. And back out to Noah. Noah now shovels it back into the corner. Eli grabbing a hold of it. Eli gets it over to Maxim. Maxim shot save. Nolan trying to pat him the rebound. Couldn't quite get there. Nolan now. He's got a hold of it. Nolan's just circling here. And he finally gets pushed off the puck. Jackson trying to work his way out. Works his way to Maxim. Back to Noah. Noah up and rolling. Misses Nolan as it makes its way up. And Littleton's just going to ice the puck. I think it's called off. I think they just want the game to end. So they're not blowing it. Declan up to Maxim here. Maxim to Lucas. Lucas into the corner looking for Devin again. 30 seconds left. Devin almost snuck it by the ear of the goalie there. And into the corner. As Declan shoots it. And this should do it. Everyone just kind of moseys their way to the circle. And that'll do it. So 15-0. Tomorrow's game should be a lot better.